Hello all, welcome back to my Lower Decks reviews. With me today is Captain Trek and Vance Major. How are you doing, gentlemen? Not good, huh, Captain?
Well, I was going to say good, then we watched this.
Yes. So just so everybody's aware, we're going to be doing the last two episodes today, kind of back to back. We're going to run through the first one, then run through the second one because I had to take a week off to prep for my new channel that launched this week. So we're getting back into the swing of things here.
Congratulations on that, by the way, Ramblin'.
Yes,
thank you very much. Thank you.
Good content. Not as good as this, short tracks, but it's good enough.
Yeah, it's good, right? It's completely different. I have to get facts and stuff. I don't have to have facts and stuff for this.
I think what would help your channel would be a cheesy cat with like the preview showed for short tracks, but that would help your content. So
yeah. We'll get you to play it.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I will have cheese in my beard for you, Raymond.
All right. So the first one, a moist vessel, which is just something I never thought I'd hear as a freaking Star Trek title. But anyway.
Well, I tell you, this episode sure made me moist. So,
good Lord, it's already gone to hell. All right, Cap Trek, what'd you think?
Oh my God! What I am surprised by are the number of people who love this episode. I'm really not sure why.
Well, first off, the writing was top notch. Like I said to you guys earlier, before we started recording, I would put this on par with Best of Both Worlds Part 1. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. So, you talk about character depth, you talk about on the edge of your seat. When that particle was coming through the tractor beam, oh my God, that was almost like Locutus all over again. So, you talk about Trek at its best, boom, there you go. Almost like Dominion War special effects. So, Trek, Cap, there's nothing better.
And why didn't they just, reverse polarity of the field? The tractor beam, they just go boom, let's just reverse polarity.
Because they're not the Voyager.
Cut it off.
They're not Voyager.
Well, I'm sure there was a deleted scene in there that because there was a particle in space, it wouldn't let them, or maybe the hull of the ship, was refracting that part of the beam of the spectrum. So, it's okay and it's understandable, but, the caliber of this episode, simply you can overlook it for that. So, I understand that, it's okay. It's okay.
For me, I think the premise was interesting, where they're hauling an older ship. It's kind of an old trope, and then something on the older ship gives way, and then the two captain dynamic was weird. Of course, but I don't know. I guess it was okay. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever watched.
And
a lot of the
the Genesis juice.
Yeah, but for me, it follows the same tropes. You get the vessel from long ago, has a mysterious thing on it that people want to research, and one guy's ego gets in the way, something screws up, and it all goes to hell. It's been kind of written over and over again, but
first off, anytime I see a guy frozen inside something that looks like a fridge, count me in. That thing was great. The whole story was awesome. It was a giant ship, so obviously we're not, writing for something, overcompensating for anything. So, it was a great story. The other captain was a team player, just had an accident that happened that, caused his ship to, go into, whatever problem that they went into, which, meant the story could go along. I mean, it was a great story. What are you guys talking about?
Okay.
Did we watch
Okay.
the same
I'm
thing?
calling you on this right now. That is
Yeah.
BS. Because the other captain moved his entire ship so that they would be shown to be in the lead of this or operation because they needed to be in a position that reflected their status of the mission, which ended up causing everything to go to hell.
He was trying to help, just trying to get a little closer. There's nothing wrong with getting a little bit closer. Nothing wrong with that at all. I mean,
Yeah, if you're talking an Arid Extra Dry commercial.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was all right. I kind of liked. I kind of liked a little bit of the reverse psychology. Well, okay, we tried to give her all these really bad jobs, but what's the one thing she hates the most? Command. So let's give her lieutenant pips. But honestly, what killed that for me was when they took them away at the end of the episode.
Yeah, that was kind of junk, especially considering the fact that you built this character up the whole episode. And the thing that I thought really worked for the character were all those yawns that they gave her. I mean, I was laughing the whole time. I mean, that was great. I mean, you really built this character up wonderfully, and then you took it away at the end. What the hell is that?
Oh, those yawns. That joke would have worked if they would have done it once.
Give her a couple more, right? That's what I'm saying. Couple more. Give her a couple more.
No. Just once.
What?
No.
Just once. Do the joke once and move on. Do the joke once and move on.
One more time. Right. One more time. So,
no, we're not hearing the same thing here. Definitely not one more time.
No.
Mine, delete about 4 of them. But for me, that was kind of the stupid part of the episode. That was the part that I really didn't like the most. Is they get all this stuff. They get like they build. They build the bond a little bit more between mom and daughter. They, and she gets the promotion, and then they take it away at the end of the show because mom doesn't want to deal with daughter anymore. Well, then here's my problem. Why is Mariner even in Starfleet?
The thing I hope
she doesn't want to progress. She doesn't. She wants to be an ensign for the rest of her life. I mean, I thought we only did that on Voyager, and then like it just, to me, it's like, okay, no, this is not how Starfleet works. They don't hand out ranks for nothing. They don't take away ranks for nothing. They don't, you don't go up and down the bloody scale 15 million times just because.
Yeah, the thing that she would have got was a formal reprimand, not taking the rank. Like in all seriousness, like the thing I enjoyed most was when they actually seemed to make progression in the show with like changing the color of the uniform, which I thought, okay, that's interesting. You started her in red and ensign, then you gave her yellow lieutenant. Okay, we're making progression. And you showed progression in the relationship. Okay, there's some character growth. This may not be my series, but at least there's some character growth. That's interesting. Great. And then at the end of the episode, everything's hit the reset button. That reset button is the one thing that it's like, is this where we're going with the show? At least with where it seemed like it was heading, it could be forgivable, the early stuff where it's like, okay, if we're going to move past the problems, you could then go back and watch it, and maybe it's accessible toward someone like me or someone like Cap or someone like you who don't enjoy it, and then maybe can retroactively look back and say, well, I can now watch this because I know where they move to. Kind of like where I am with Enterprise, where it's like, look, it gets better, trust me, and then you can make it to the better parts, getting past the bad parts. But if we're going to constantly hit the reset button, you then have Voyager, where you're always going to be back basically at reset at the end of the episode, so nothing really has any consequence. For someone like me, I find that frustrating. I can't really ever enjoy the show because you're never going to give me a chance to let these characters grow.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you know, and even at the end of the episode, Blamer or whatever his name is, you know, says you had everything I want in life, and you threw it away, and you don't care.
Well,
then why is she? Then my question is, why is she on a damn starship in the first place?
And the one thing that this episode has, again, and again being serious, you have everybody in the upper ranks not acting Starfleet. You have the captain of the other ship who's like, "Oh, I'm going to be the glory hog here." No Starfleet captain would ever fucking
absolutely
be like that. And so, I mean, it's arrogance on such an unprofessional level, and for what? That no Starfleet captain would do that. None, especially a captain. And speaking of captain, the mother, you would be like the complaints from this ensign alone would be, you would not be a captain that long if you couldn't maintain any type of civility toward someone like that. So I don't see how you got a rank of captain being the way you are, let alone toward your daughter.
Yeah, well, not only that, but I mean, like,
I know they're doing it for sake of story, but your story sucks because it's fundamentally flawed. And again, I know your audience is toward adults, but I don't know if it's necessarily toward Trek fans. And so anybody that's like, "Oh, this is a great show," I don't like that aspect of it because it's not very Star Trek-like. And I liked it once they moved past it. But again, at the end of it, you hit the goddamn reset button.
Yep.
So again, it's something that I could have overlooked, knowing, okay, you moved past it. And again, I don't mind there being tension, but the lengths you went past or went through to still drag her through the mud. Yeah. I don't fucking buy it. So anyway, forgive my rant, and I'm babbling. Cap Trek, what do you think?
Cap?
You're on mute, buddy.
I cannot believe. Honestly. Yeah. Why did she switch departments? She got a promotion and she switched departments.
I think it was to show growth. Like, for somebody who doesn't know Star Trek, they wouldn't necessarily notice the pip, but they would notice, oh, a promotion, a different department. It's, again, I don't think it's toward like you and me, the Trek fans. I think it's to people who don't necessarily watch Star Trek. They're like, oh, promotion, different department. So I think it's symbolized that. Again, I wonder if
the uniform.
I wonder if it is necessarily for Star Trek fans. I don't think we are the target audience. I think it's to get new fans, and not necessarily us.
Yeah, I've kind of said that right out of the gate. That's who this is for.
The color symbolic.
Yeah, this isn't for your diehard Trekkies. But I mean, if they like it, that's fine. But I mean, it's not where it's geared. Because it's geared for your 18 to 25 Rick and Morty fan.
Yeah, because
that's where they're going.
No, because they wouldn't really think about, well, what is she? Security? Is she engineering? Is she operation? Like, what is she? What does she do? Like, they wouldn't think about that. They'd be like, oh, and they didn't say it in the episode, like, oh, we're going to transfer you to operations because you have this special, like, they don't say. It's just, oh, you got a promotion. Here you go. Here's a pip. And then color change. Like, it's just symbolic. And again, I could buy that if you showed an interest, but they don't show any interest in anything she does because that's part of her character trait. You have no interest in any of this shit. You just skate by. So, again, it's not bad. It's just, it's not meant for me. So anyway, that being said, let's skip by this because I know we were going to do just one episode and we're already halfway through what we wanted to because we wanted to hit 30 minutes for both episodes and we only really wanted to do 20. We're already 15 minutes in. So that being said, what's the rating for this episode? Ramblin', what do you think, man?
I'm gonna go. I'll go 5 because it was watchable. It just pissed me off at the end. That bothered me because it was like, okay, this could be interesting because when they give her the lieutenant pep, I'm going, okay, this could be interesting. She's now a lieutenant. Okay, she's got the rank, and now okay, this could be interesting.
Okay.
And
Cap,
then right at the end, bang, reset. So yeah, I'd say 5.
Cap, what do you think, man?
3. This was just garbage. I wanted to eject that idiot out the airlock.
Wait, which idiot? Because I feel like at this point we have to ask which.
Yeah, which idiot? There's a few. The captain? Oh yeah, yeah, her. She can go out the airlock too. All right, and Vance, what's your final score on this one?
I think it would be ironic as if Cap's throwing her out the airlock, she yawns.
Yeah.
Which probably would.
I feel like for these, I have to rate these on a different scale than I do other ones because we hold these to such low levels. So I honestly have to rate this a 7. Because I hate this show, I can't hold this to the same standard. And I feel like for this one, this is the first one that I didn't hate.
Okay.
I don't necessarily like it, but there was a lot of redemption in this. The only problem I had besides that one, besides my typical stuff, and I have to overlook the typical because it's just a fundamental thing of the series. Like Starfleet officers don't act like Starfleet officers. A lot of they have Starfleet lingo, but it's not Starfleet-esque. And the typical things, I have to overlook that because again, that's the foundation. So once you overlook that, what did I like? What did I dislike? Looking at that, there were more likes than dislikes. Outside that one jerk face captain, and then the yawns, of course, and then the reset button, there really wasn't much that I didn't like. I liked a lot about this episode. So taking away the foundation and then those 3 dislikes, I found it fairly entertaining. I wouldn't watch it on my own. I'd have to sadly watch it with you guys.
Yeah.
So that being said, I'd have to say 7 on a lower decks scale. That sounds like a lower deck scale. Yeah, I'd say 7. So
okay, all right. So now we're gonna move on to the next one, which is Cupid's errant arrow. Wow, they like to make these names weird. Anyway,
doesn't make
Ken, what was your initial thoughts of this one?
Well, Boimler's got a girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the sum of its parts, huh? Vance, what did you think initially?
It left no impression. This felt like a typical Lower Decks episode, but I didn't necessarily hate it like I like. I didn't hate it like I hate the other ones. It felt more focused on the Lower Deck characters, which I enjoyed more, and I think that's probably why I didn't hate it as much, because it didn't feel like we got to fit every single character into this. I didn't care for the captain that was on the other ship. I again take, that's part of the foundation of this is Star Trek senior Star Trek characters don't feel like Star Trek. And it's just like, why is that an issue with the series? I just wish they would act professional, and they don't. So I didn't mind it as much. And I did enjoy the fact that, I liked the idea of the story that they had where she's trying to figure out, there's no way you could find my friend hot. There's got to be something wrong with you. I found that kind of cute. However,
I guess, yeah.
I feel like it's so in your face. And again, it's almost like Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory, where he's just spouting references, where it's like, they have canned laughter in The Big Bang Theory, but when you actually listen to what Sheldon's saying, he's not saying anything funny. He's just spouting facts, and the audience laughs because, oh, Sheldon said something, ha ha ha. But you're like,
Yeah.
that wasn't funny. And that's kind of what some of these references feel like. They're just spouting references, but it's not necessarily funny. So when you listen, you're like, oh, reference, oh man, that's cool. But when you listen, you're like, nah, but that's not really, that's just a reference for reference sake. That's not really, come on, man, really, do we need that? So I'm not as impressed with this one, but I'm not as hard on it as I am the other ones. So.
Yeah, well, for me, okay, the whole, I mean, we've all had that, that one, that one time, and sometimes it's even been us where our friends are looking at like, how the hell this doesn't add up, in relationship wise, we've all had that instance, but I don't know, like, she went really, almost like,
it was really over the top.
But hinted at jealous. Like the what I get from that is that she likes Boimler.
Yeah, she's gonna bone that dude,
right? Because only somebody who has the secret crush on you. I mean, you see it in every comedy, everything where. They've got to find something wrong with the person you're dating because there's something wrong with them because secretly they want you dating them. And that's, in every, mini series, soap opera, bullshit show there is. So to me, I was looking at this going, well, are they trying to hint? Is that the message they're trying to get across, that later on they're going to, are they setting out feelers for how does anybody feel about these two hooking up later? So, especially when she says things like, well, he's my dork, right? He's a dork, but he's my dork, right? That's, you see what I'm saying, right? So it bands to me that they're this episode is a feeler. Okay, would everybody freak out if we did this? If this is the way we went? And I think it was subtle enough that a lot of people are going to miss it, but I catch it because, well, I've watched WWE for more of my life and, soap opera shit. So I, dramas and cartoons and the mini comedy series. I've seen this before. So to me, I think it's early feelers for, hey, is everybody gonna freak out if we do this? I don't know how I feel about it, but the whole episode, and I thought it was kind of a really lame punchline. Well, how many people are on your planet? 2. Oh, blow it up, right? It's like, oh.
Yeah, it's again one of those
all
things
that drama for what? 2 people, and like there's no schematic that you've got. There's no write up about these worlds you've read. You're a fucking captain. You haven't read up on these assholes to know there's only 2 on that planet.
Well, not to mention you don't have plant life that require that can be medicine. You don't have wildlife that's on the planet. Like, just because there's 2 humanoids, like, what about the other life that's on this planet? Like, it's very irresponsible to think about just the humanoids that can talk to you. Like, there are other factors to think about besides just the humanoids. Is there dilithium crystals on the planet that you guys can harvest? Like, there are other factors. Just say, oh, to hell with it. Like, to me, that's just a very convenient way to just be like, all right, we got to get rid of this storyline. It's not going anywhere, and we got to write this out. Okay, just have them hardy har har. And that's the thing. Like, could you see Kirk doing that? No. Could you see Picard doing that? Fuck no. Could you see Cisco doing that? No. Could you see Janeway doing that?
Maybe.
No. You know, that's the only iffy on
I'm
that.
sorry, I had to.
No, and that's like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some Janeway fans out there that are like, stop fucking with Lower Deck, stop fucking with Voyager, you know. But so we're not going to win over those people. But it's one of those things where it's like no Starfleet captain in their right mind would do that approach because every life is sacred.
Yeah.
And that's something that's to the core belief of every Federation captain, of every Federation citizen. It's something to their core belief. Every life is sacred. And for them to just be like, screw it, let's just blow it up.
Yeah. And they've got a ship that's kind of their thing, like the Vancouver. I don't like the Vancouver. It's a Canadian ship. I wanted to like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to like that ship. Yeah. I wanted to like that ship, damn it.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, this is not very.
It's the Vancouver. I should like this ship. I don't like this ship.
So what did you think about ship at all? So what did you think about the captain fucking shooting the one dude?
Oh,
how mentally stable is that? How mentally stable is that guy, huh?
Or how about the damn greeting from the captain when they get on the Vancouver? One day you could be as good enough to command this kind of a ship. Like, there's not that much difference, lady. Chill. Hers is a little bit older and not all the new techie tech, but you're not on the E, so shut up. Right? Like, settle your tits.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, again, it boils down to like when you sit there and compare. Could you see Picard doing this? Could you see Cisco doing it? A lot of the actions of people, it's like, look, I get that this is a cartoon. I get that this is, a little bit more lighthearted. I get it, but there's a difference between lightheart and parody. I feel like I'm watching Mad TV, and if this is what I was supposed to be watching, and it just fucking tone it down, guys. Jesus Christ. And I simply don't get why people are like, man, this is fucking great. Like, where? Why? And I just don't get why. Let the cadets, or not cadets, let the crewmen talk about how awesome this ship is. Let the captain be like, hey, if you want to join the best ship, welcome on. Like, you too can have this. Like, don't let the captain be so over. Like, let it speak for itself. Like, the subtlety of having a captain be like that speaks volumes, but it's so in your face. And it's like, there's a lot that can be said with subtlety. And I just wish they would do that, because again, using that subtlety can make them appear so arrogant. And that would really push the narrative of, we don't want to be like you. And that right there is so much the young generation speaking to the old generation going, nah, fuck you, here's the middle finger, and we wave it loudly and proudly.
Yeah.
And I just don't think they get that. Everybody's just the fucking wacko, and there's no difference. So, but anyway, so what would you rate this, Ramblin'?
I don't know. This one's even going to go even lower than the last one, because to me, at least the last one was somewhat entertaining. This one was meh. So I'm going to go 4. Although I will point out, and I can't remember if it was this episode or the episode before, but I forgot to state it. Did anybody see the dig at? Yeah, it was this episode. The dig at the Democrat for running for politics. Anybody see the dig?
Biden?
Yeah. Anybody see the dig at Biden?
What was it?
Well, everybody makes fun of Biden for smelling hair, right?
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What does his girlfriend do when she's talking about how much she likes him and how she met him and so she sniffs his hair?
Yep. Oh God, you're right.
So was it a dig at Biden? Anyway. And I've just probably lowered Vance's score. All right, so I'm going to go with a 4. Cap?
3.
All right, that's fair. Vance?
No, I agreed with you on 4. I mean, I'd say it's a 4 or a 5, but I'm gonna go with 4.
All right.
Just because like it's watchable and I don't hate it. In fact, no, let's go 5.
All right.
It's not like I really do think that like I have to score these on a different scale, like I said earlier. And I didn't hate this episode. I really have to be careful on how I grade these. And I can't go too low because I don't know how low we're going to go on these. So I'd have to say a 5 because, like you said, this was meh, but I didn't hate it. And I'd say that I could probably, I could sit through this again. It had its flaws, but they weren't as overbearing as the other ones were. They gave the younger people a chance to shine, and the older ones weren't really there, overly broadcasting themselves. So I could sit through this one again. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't, my all-time favorite. I think so far the best one is the last one we watched, the old ship spore thingy. I think I'll probably forget this one by next week. I'll probably forget this one by the time I get off the phone with you guys. It's not bad. It's just, that's the problem with these episodes is they all blend together and they're all fucking forgettable. And I can't really quote any one of them, So,
no, I get it. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us. I want to thank Captain Trek and Vance for coming on with me again and watching these. We're going to make it through the season, boys. We're going to make it through the season, I promise. And I don't think we're doing season 2. Spoiler! But we will make it through the season, by God.
Thank you.
I want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank everyone for listening to us ramble here. And please do like, share, subscribe. And until next time, take her easy, folks.